What's going on, Gemini? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having an exceptional week so far. So for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the greatest, Gemini. Somewhere between like fantastic and greatest. Fan greatest. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Alright, Gemini, so it is your weekly download. I still need to decide if I'm going to come up with a dance move for that or not. Stay tuned for that. But with this weekly download, whenever you happen to come across this video or this video comes across you there, Gemini, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take it resonates with you. Leave the rest with me, and never force reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said there, Gemini, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just wonderful energy all around here, Gemini. Now I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, Gemini, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. Also down below some links for some readers that I like watching there, Gemini. You know, I've been getting a lot of love, especially from one there, so definitely check her out. It's Jamie Knapp. She's fantastic. You know, the channels are the lips of wisdom and the ears of... Oh shoot, she just changed the titles of them. Check those out there, Gemini. But very, very fantastic insights that they provide. I also have a link for an astrologer that I like watching, and also there's some links for some podcasts, and I tell you what, that's been fueling my Gemini moon. I said, just listening to people talk and getting different perspectives, that's been fantastic. And there's some links for some apps that I like working with as well there, Gemini. So you got all types of goodies down in that description box for you. Well, let's see, the energies are still getting a little warmed up there, so let's see what's going on for you. Oh. Alright, Gemini. Thank you, spirits. Alright, so you have the Mystic Meadow card here, which is a card of Sanctuary. And you know, Gemini, I feel with this card here, I feel like the energies are kind of asking you, especially I feel like when times get a little maybe stressful or when you feel maybe some intense type of energies, you know, where do you go to find sanctuary? In a sense, you know, what does that look like? I feel like this is more so kind of like this more so internal type of energy that's kind of going on here. And it's just like, you know, what does that happy place type of look like? You know, where do you go maybe like when you do some like meditation, or maybe what do you need to do to kind of like get in the flow of the energies, that thing that you can just kind of like check out on and kind of do for hours. Maybe this is reading a nice book, or maybe this is doing some gardening, or maybe this is with cooking, or maybe this is playing around with your animals possibly. But I feel like it's just like checking in and seeing how this sanctuary is going on within you there, Gemini. And then I feel like it's just like once you've had a chance to journey within, see how that does translate out in your space as well. Do things feel a little chaotic, or do you feel that the energies have gotten a little stagnant even, and maybe there's this time for a shift possibly, you know, maybe shifting your couch a different direction, or maybe rearranging some knickknacks around the house, or whatever this is looking like, because you'd be surprised, just even like the smallest bit, maybe we're moving house plants around, or Just like those small little things can really just kind of open up the energies a different way, get you thinking even in a different type of way there, Gemini. So this might even be something too where we may be thinking about adding to our sanctuary. This is very kind of fourth house stuff that I'm kind of getting here. This is really kind of tending to this sort of home space and really just bringing this sense of order, especially if things have been seeming a little just kind of out of whack here in a sense there for you recently, and how you can do these minor tweaks to maybe find this sense of peace, and even I feel like even get yourself inspired in a sense. But let's get some tarot on this, Gemini, and get some more details with this. Alright, Gemini. Experience. Let's see what is going on here. Alright, so you have the Son of Baskets. Speaking of fourth house, you got the chariot, or we got Railroad Bill here, which is the chariot card, Cancer energy. They're associated with the fourth house. And then you have, and those are in reverse. And then you have the Six of Baskets, the Eight of Baskets, the Father of Baskets, the Son of Sticks, and then the Seven of Coins here, Gemini. And Gemini, I feel with this Son of Sticks here, I feel there's this kind of playful energy that's coming through with the Son of Sticks, and I feel like it's more so just kind of, for some, when I was talking about that more sort of like internal sanctuary, just what are some of the things that you do to bring yourself this sense of fun? Because I feel with the Son of Baskets that there may be this energy of, oh, hold on, Gemini, my candle went out. Bam. But I feel there may be some sort of emotional type of things that may be kind of brewing within us. And, sometimes when we get in those kind of emotional stresses, it's just like, I feel the energies are kind of, it's like with the Railroad Bill here, it's like asking you to kind of slow down. And because maybe we've been just trying to keep ourselves busy in order to distract ourselves with something here. And yeah, just for some, I feel like there's this need to just like, how do you assuage these feelings, or what does that internal, like, how are we doing internally, and what do we do in order to get this sense of like emotional understanding? Because the fathers are the kings in this deck, which is these energies of wisdom. And I even feel with this for some, and something I've been really kind of thinking about, is how when we do feel these sense of emotions, it's just like, how does that translate into your vessel here, Gemini? Do we feel what, like when we're feeling this sense of, like, let's say fear or maybe depression or something, like, does this translate in the gut possibly? Does things feel kind of slow in the body? Or do we feel like our nervous system is riled up, or feel this sense of anxiety or this kind of frazzled type of energy? Just paying attention to how these emotional things can translate physically there, Gemini. But I also feel with this Six of Baskets here, if there are some things that are going on within you, that there's this energy of like kind of like letting this wall down in a sense, and allowing some people maybe into your sanctuary. I don't feel like it's necessarily that you just need to be an open book and letting, like, letting your heart, or letting your heart be on your sleeve. But what I do feel is that I do feel like if we're keeping things kind of pent up here, Gemini, there's a need to share some of these things. Allow yourself to Yeah, just I feel like it's like allowing yourself to let these walls down in a sense, because the Eight of Cups, I feel like we may be, it's like it's time, or like the energies are trying to get you to move on from something here with this Eight of Baskets, but we may be having a troubles just getting that energy started in a sense, because it may not feel very like the most comfortable sense of energy. It may not be the most fun thing I feel like to do, but I feel like it can bring about this sense of release. Maybe we've been stuck maybe in a certain type of past energy, thinking about a certain memory possibly there, but now it's time to create these new memories, get out of this energy. And I'm getting, it's very interesting, with the Seven of Coins being here. I am still kind of getting, when I was saying we're not being like an open book. Because when the Seven of Coins here, there's this phrase when they're talking about this card in the book, and there's like being mindful of like, it's like, I keep getting that phrase of not casting your pearls amongst the swine, but, and not to say that the people you're dealing with are swine, but it's more so just like, it's like when you're sharing these things, I feel like it's creating this safe space. Like when you're going to talk about this stuff, being with someone who's not going to take advantage of that vulnerability, or someone who's not going to, just being mindful about where we're investing our energies into, in like, see how these interactions and how people kind of receive your vulnerability in a sense, and just like feel like being mindful of who you're welcoming into your sanctuary, if that makes sense there, Gemini. So, and I feel even one more thing with this Eight of Baskets here, that maybe there was this place that we used to invest in, that we used to call our sanctuary, our home in a sense, but now it's not feeling like that. And I feel the Son of Baskets, it's just like he's a very emotional, the Sons are knights, and I feel like he has such an emotional attachment. He feels so deeply. This is Scorpio energy for me. And it's just like maybe for some there's this energy, maybe we're moving away from maybe like an old, I'm feeling like this is like either like maybe this could be like a childhood type of energy, possibly. Maybe we used to find solace in this and it's no longer serving us a purpose, or just wherever you used to maybe go somewhere to feel safe, it's just not feeling like there's that emotional security anymore in a sense. And it's just like, because I feel you've grown with this Father of Baskets being here, so it's like I feel like it's like what does this new sanctuary like kind of feel like in a sense, and how are these new experiences and these new things that we're sharing with these people will maybe just kind of help you evolve in a sense there, Gemini. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense. I think I'm gonna move on from that there, Gemini. Let's get another tarot on this, because this could even be from, when I'm thinking about this sanctuary, this could be maybe from like maybe the place that we maybe where like, and listen, just I hope you know what I mean, but it's like this could be maybe from our sanctuary, maybe we felt safe at our church maybe, or like this place of religion, and maybe that's not quite feeling the same. And I'm not saying we're just like becoming like an atheist, but it's just that maybe we're thinking about finding somewhere that's more inclusive, more like this unconditional type of love. They're just giving a different message. Or this could even be maybe even like our job space possibly, or this could be whatever this may be looking like there, Gemini. It's kind of some deep energy there, but let me go ahead and move on from that. Interesting, Gemini. So you have the Bear Spirit here, which is a card of healing. And the bear card, or the Bear Spirit, this is number 4, which is the Emperor in the tarot deck, or John Horse in this deck. And I feel that there is this energy of, it's like we're reflecting again, like on this maybe past experiences. Maybe we've been healing from a place that we felt maybe betrayed by, possibly again somewhere that we used to find, call sanctuary, but now it's like we're going into this different chapter. And this could even be too, Gemini, maybe we used to find sanctuary in someone else, and there may have even been with the Son of Baskets, maybe there was this codependent even energy that's even kind of coming through there. Maybe we're trying to heal from that, find our own sanctuary in ourselves before we share this selves with others, because something to keep in mind of, even when I'm thinking about with like the Emperor, when I think about the relationship with the Emperor and the Empress, they don't complete each other. They both come in whole, and they, and of course they're always healing and working on each other, but it's just like they choose to be with each other. They choose to share in this love, and they know that there are things where they're going to be growing together, and there are going to be some periods where they need to take some time, and there's going to be some more internal work that's going to be happening more individually. But I feel like it's like, this energy is stating wherever this damage may have been done, because I'm even getting one of your cards energy, like the Ten of Swords is really kind of coming through here when it comes to this energy of betrayal. And now that we're in this healing process, it's like, what does that look like going, like how does that energy look like going forward? How do we move on from this? How do we have this fresh start? Because I even feel that maybe for some there's this even like kind of, even like a devil energy that's coming through with the Six of Baskets. Maybe there's this past energy, maybe there's some triggers or maybe some traumas that may even need to be dealt with in a sense. And that's even interesting too, how the Son of Sticks kind of has his hands out, and I feel like he's saying like no more. Like there's this, it's like, he's slain these snakes in this garden, and it's now, well, I don't know if he's in a garden, in this field, and now he's just like, and I feel like he's got this salamander here that's knowing that he's protected. And but that's very fascinating, Gemini. Let me get some tarot on this and get some details. But I will say too, with this energy, Gemini, this seems like a lot that we may be thinking about, and this is something where heal with this thing as it makes sense, because the Knight of Sticks can be a very fast moving knight, and I just feel we want to be mindful. I feel you want to rush this energy. Deal with it as your own pace as it makes sense, but I do feel also that there is just making sure to get eyes on this thing and see where we may have been operating from a different, like from a place of hurt, or from, something along those lines, Gemini. But because that's even interesting, she got let's see what's going on here. So you have thank you, spirits. You have the Ten of Baskets, the Seven of Knives, and the Eight of Sticks in reverse, and then you have the Two of Sticks and the Four of Coins upright. And this Ten of Baskets, for some, this may be coming up as a broken family type of relationship, or maybe there's this energy of we had this certain wish, we had this idea of something that was going to come together there. We had this whole grand picture, and now it's kind of flipped on its head. That how this wish had manifested wasn't quite what we thought, and now it's like this Seven of Knives is kind of asking you, what are some different ways that we can go about this stuff? Now that we've seen this truth, what can we do? What kind of resource can we find to change things in this different directions there? Because I feel with the Eight of Sticks, it's like with the Eight of Sticks and the Railroad Bill, it's like for some it's like the energies have slowed down, that we've been stagnated in a while, and now the Two of Wands is presenting this choice. And speaking of Emperor energy, this is Aries' hottest card, because the Emperor is Aries energy. This is Mars in Aries, and now I feel like it's not being impulsive though. Because the Emperor is one who knows when to move and when to pause. And that's where I feel like if you're not feeling, if there's still some healing that's needing to be done there, then I feel like the Four of Coins is this energy of needing to be kind of grounded with this energy, sit with this stuff, and really kind of, truly kind of go within and ask yourself, where am I? Where do I need to go from here, guys? Where are you trying to get me to lead? Because sometimes when we force these things to happen, we just exacerbate the situation. And there are some times when we need to take actions, and sometimes when we need to be still. And in that stillness, we can find different practices to do some healing there, Gemini. And maybe this is, like I was saying, maybe we're doing some gardening, maybe working with animals, maybe we're writing some music, maybe we're writing a book, maybe writing, or just maybe doing some journaling. This could be maybe like a video diary, whatever this may be looking like. Just getting in this kind of creative space, accessing these different sort of resources there to get this sense of understanding. That's very interesting. I'm even kind of sitting here with the Four of Coins, and you see how he has this stick out here where he's trying to find. I feel like he's in this picture. I want to say the story behind him is that he's looking for gold, or looking for kind of riches there. But I feel like this riches that we're looking for is this sanctuary, this sense of, trying to find this wish, trying to find this family, because it's like it's like the Four of Coins can be this card of savings, and I just feel like with the Seven of Coins and the Four of Coins, it's like we've may have put all our eggs in this one basket here, and now that things have kind of flipped on their head a little bit, it's just like, I don't know, it's like something is changing up here with the Four of Coins. But very fascinating energy there, Gemini. Well, let's get some tea. And let's get your last oracle card. And healing takes time there, Gemini. But it's one that I feel like it doesn't mean that even though we have to be patient with this, it doesn't mean that we're going to be stuck in that energy forever. Just keep that in mind. I like that, Gemini. Oh, thank you, spirits. So you have the Rainbow Waterfall card here, which is a card of miracles. And see, I feel like this is what happens when we start embracing this healing process. Miracles start happening. Where at first we may have felt kind of hopeless. It's like, why is all of this stuff happening? Maybe things have just been kind of going a little wild here. Because now I'm just thinking with where Pluto's moving now, and granted, he's still in the early degrees. He's been hovering around the early degrees of Aquarius for a while, which would have been forming a trine with wherever you have, if you happen to have Gemini placements in that degree. And even though that is a beneficial energy, that trine energy, Pluto still is intense, and it brings about those things from the surface, but it can create these energies of miracles in a sense, because it shows us where there were these like maybe unconscious programmings that were operating beneath the scenes there that have needed to be addressed there. Because I had a situation with this Pluto transit that happened where it didn't translate the way that I had pictured, and it really did kind of catch me off guard, and I'm still figuring out how to even approach it. But it did reveal something to me. It showed me where there were some things where the Son of Baskets was hurt, and that it had led to this sort of reactive type of energy. But it has been very, very enlightening, and it was like around the time that I was going through, like Saturn was transiting through my seventh house, so a lot of relationships have changed. But there have been little miracles in that, Gemini, and I feel like that's where it's keeping that hope that it's not just going, this stuff isn't just happening to get you where you don't feel safe. It feels like this energy is trying to show you that how do you go about healing, where how do you find the miracles in, oh, okay, how do you find the miracles in sometimes these kind of harsh energies, in these sort of tough lessons there? How does that, how do you feel safe again, and whatever that looks like for you there? But let me get some tarot on this, Gemini, and get some details. Yeah, excuse me, my sun sign was getting ready to show there for a second. Whew, all right. All right, last little bit here, Gemini. How fascinating. We'll absolutely talk about that. So you have the Daughter of Coins, the Daughter of Sticks, the Six of Coins, and the Garden in reverse, and the Garden's the World card. And then you have Paw here, which is Pisces, upright, and or well, the Moon card, not just Pisces, it's the Moon card, and let's switch back over. But Gemini, the very fascinating thing with the Eight of Baskets, that's Saturn and Pisces. And you also, and I was just telling you, you got Saturn and you got Pisces here. And where you're, just a couple of things with this. So Saturn is forming squares with your sign right now. He's going through Pisces. Last I checked, you want to say he's at 5 degrees of Pisces. And he's moving along there. And Saturn brings about, or the squares bring about challenges. And Saturn, I feel like in Pisces, is kind of asking you where maybe you have been, maybe where boundaries need to be put up, possibly, because that's one aspect that Pisces does struggle with sometimes. Or maybe what ways have we been escaping some things, and maybe not been dealing with these energies in a sense, where we've been not wanting to, because the Moon card can be this energy of being afraid. It's considered the scariest card of the major arcanas, and I feel like that's just because when you think about the nighttime, sometimes the way the moon will cast shadow on things, it can make our imagination run wild and keep us from trying different things, or from exploring these like maybe kind of darker sides of ourselves, because we are seeing these sort of like scary things. But I feel like it also shows us how powerful our imaginations can be. And sure, there are all these scary things that may be coming up with where we may need to heal and stuff. It's like we've considered that one aspect, but I feel like we haven't considered, with the Daughter of Coins being reversed, how we can make this grow in a sense. How we can, because I'm even kind of feeling too there, Gemini, that there's just something here with the garden being here that we haven't closed out. That's needing something, we're needing some kind of closure on. Again, something that's needing some type of healing, something that's wanting our attention. And I feel when we do that, then we can establish this sense of security, and even like I'm feeling this emotional security, because the Six of Coins is the moon in Taurus, and the moon is exalted in Taurus because the moon feels safe there, because Taurus is about that safety, that security, that foundation. Things are familiar. But now that things aren't feeling, we're in this sort of unknown space here. It's just like, how can we take this? Because I like this Paw. I really love this. This is probably one of my favorite moon cards, because I feel that this is the moon trying to offer you advice. It's that hard, like this. I feel like this grandpa here is talking with the sun, and I almost feel like this is the Son of Baskets here. But it's just like he's talking with this boy as far as just like almost like explaining the harshities. how harsh life can be sometime, or the harshness that can be of life. But he's showing it's not just about that. He's considering that full perspective, I feel, with the moon there. He's shining a light on some of these doubts and fears and things, and it's just like, what do you do with that energy? So I like this, Gemini. This a lot of healing energy, I feel like, can really kind of come from this here. And I feel this is like, with that, while we were talking with Pisces, I feel like, I feel like the instinct may feel to run, but I feel like the more that we run from these energies, eventually you can, and I don't want this to sound ominous or anything, but it's just like, you can run away from this stuff, but as soon as you try to get settled in, it just manifests in a different type of way there, Gemini. Then we have to deal with it all over again. So just something to think about. But I think I'm going to leave that there. But if anything resonated with you, if you like that, Gemini, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Gemini, because this was, I feel like, a lot to kind of deal with. This is a lot, I feel like, to process. And again, don't force this. Just deal with this as it makes sense for you. When it feels a little overwhelming, give it some space. But I do feel like that it is acknowledging it. Because I feel like these emotions that come up for you, they're not trying to be enemies, or they're not trying to bring them down. They just want to be heard, because there's some growth that's needing to happen. There's some things that we've been repressing. And I feel when you can show, because even thinking about that, we may not like these energies that come up, but they're a part of you. And if you don't like that part of yourself, you're rejecting that side, then that's saying a lot, Gemini. And so I feel we want to learn how can we embrace this energy and turn it into an ally, as opposed to as instead of an enemy. But and then subscribe there, Paul. Hit that bell button to get notified now of these videos each week. And then last little bit, look at you getting the hottest ticket to come over to my other channel, the Chariot, and even got a little lunar shenanigans there with Pisces, whatever, them being the moon. But if you have any Cancer in your placements there, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, come on over to the Chariot and friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, and I do tarot card spreads based off what sign the moon's in, what phase she's in. It's a great old time, Gemini. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get you surprise cards here. Ha! So I can get you out of here, Gemini. I love it. What a strong in there. There's your ruler. You got the Black Hermit here, which is Mercury. Which is the Magician. But with Black Herman being here, I like that, Gemini. I'm not sure if you can see that here, but that wand that he's carrying says power on it, and you have the power to change things. You have the power to heal from this. I feel like if you felt like something has been taken from you, I feel like this is you getting your power back. Realizing that you can create your own foundation, that miracles can happen, that you can grow from whatever thing has happened to you. And I feel like it's not, how do I want to put this? It's not saying that what we ever might be feeling may not have been something really tough, however this may be resonating with you. But I do feel like that it's, how long do you want to give your power to that? How long do we want to keep, because the Magician is this, that you manifestation. And it's just like, how long do we want to keep creating? Is this the garden that you wanted to create, the world that you wanted to create? Or do we want to shift this thing back? And want to create something different, where there's this nurturing energy that's happening here, this healing, this growth. But let me get your other oracle card here, Gemini, so I can get you out of here. And your ruler is in Capricorn right now, which is a very resilient sign and a sign of patience, and knowing that it takes time in order to get to this. And also too, where the ruler of the sign that Mercury's in is Saturn, who's in Pisces, which is very compassionate energy as well. And I feel like it's to meeting yourself and however you feel about this with compassion, and understanding and love there, Gemini. And absolutely. So you have the Vineyard of Growth card here, Gemini. And this is a card that's just as grapes transform into fine wine, experiences ferment wisdom over time. I like that little rhyme there. But you know, these experiences are changing you, Gemini, and they take work. And you know, I feel like tending to like a vineyard and thing, that's very delicate work when you're working with these grapes. This is, and I feel like it is, it's something to be tender with, it's something to be intentional with, take your time with it. It's very Nine of Pentacles. And see, as you're working with these things, how you do, like, this hindsight is kind of 2020 energy is what I'm getting with this vineyard of growth. And yeah, just with a little patience, but setting that intention, I feel can be very powerful there, Gemini. And then things really do evolve over time, and you do get that sense of wisdom, that king of baskets energy. We have this emotional understanding. So I love that, Gemini. I think I'm gonna leave that there. So you stay safe out there. You know, with this, with whatever it is that we may be healing there, and be compassionate with yourself, be kind, and yeah, give it some time. Miracles will happen there, Gemini. You raise your vibration through the roof. Do some self-care, whatever that's looking like for you. You know, do some things that can just kind of help you get grounded again and see where things are going. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.